Hello my friends, today we're going to try to repair this mouse. This is a mouse which is not longer being produced. It's a Bluetooth mouse. It is Lenovo Bluetooth laser mouse and it has two AA batteries which allows it to run for a long time. It's a laser mouse. It's really nice to operate, and the problem with the mouse is that after some years the buttons go bad. In this mouse we have a problem with the right button, it doesn't work at all. I had already a mouse in my hands with the left button problem. The click didn't work properly, and there is an easy fix. I have found a fix on the internet for this device, and you just have to buy new buttons. I will show you these buttons here. You can buy them for €2. There are 10 of them, so you can repair 5 mouses, and it's really easy to repair if you can solder and you're not afraid of taking the mouse apart. You can repair this. First of all, just take out the batteries. The batteries are out. Now you can have a look at the mouse, how it is built, and as you see there's a spring pushing this part away, and we're going to take it all apart. The only thing we need to replace are those two buttons. I could replace only the right one because it's not working, but I will replace both of them because they are known to go bad after some time. So let's keep on working. Let's try to take this mouse apart. We'll just close it back, and there are 4 screws out under those parts. You can just take a flat screwdriver and try to pull it out, or you can use your nails. I will try to get it off. Here it's off. I will try to reuse this part. You don't have to glue it, it will glue to this back, but at the moment I will just take it away. So we will remove the second part, and there are also 2 screws under those 2 guys. This one are a little bit harder to get off, but you just slide underneath and then you can unscrew those. Unfortunately, this is not a normal screwdriver. You have to have a special tool to get it off, and yeah, those are the 4 screws. You have to undo them and then you can remove this part. I will try to find a fittable screwdriver off the camera, and then we'll continue with the work. I've got myself this toolbox with different bits, precision multifunction screwdriver set with 102 pieces, and yeah, I would like to show you how ridiculous this design is. You have to take number 3, this one, and this will allow you to unscrew those screws. So this tool is really handy. I will put a link to this to the description, so if you want to buy this, go ahead. It will be useful in a lot of repairs if you trust yourself on repair stuff. So take this number 3 bit. I use my Xiaomi screwdriver for this, and it has a hole in the middle just like those screws, and then just unscrew them carefully. 4. Please apply a little bit of pressure so that you don't destroy the screws, and after you have unscrewed them, you put those screws aside, and now you can remove the top cover of the mouse. I also just removed one part of this stuff. You can put it back so you don't lose it. I put all the screws in this bag because probably I will not solder the motherboard myself. I have someone who will solder this for me. It's normally not a difficult thing to do, to resolder those buttons. So what we're going to do is just put those screws in there. Make sure you take some pictures with your smartphone in case you don't know how to put this thing back together. I will use my camera to do the photos. Now we have removed the screws and now you can just pop it off. And normally it should just get off. You just press the button and then it will open, and then you can remove the top cover. It's nothing special here. You also have a lot of screws, so it's pretty good repairable. Of course you cannot get any parts to repair your mouse if in case you broke something, but this mouse is perfectly in good shape. We just need to replace the broken part. Here you have two springs. Make sure you take them out and put it on a good spot so you know how to put it back all together. This motherboard is just screwed down to the plastic assembly, so in this case we have normal screw, nothing special. For me, I will just take a picture of the mouse so I know how to put it back. Just a quick picture. And then you know which part goes where. After this we can disassemble it. As you see, this part and everything else can be removed. You remove this part and then you can unscrew the screw and take the whole motherboard out. And those are the guys doing the problems. You have to unsolder it from here, put a new one like this. This has this orange color in the middle. The new ones doesn't have this, but it doesn't matter. They do the job, and we'll just unscrew this part, this motherboard. Then it will be resoldered, and after this everything will be brought together. I'm unscrewing this one screw, putting this together with another screws from the mouse and other parts so I don't lose anything. Now you can carefully probably take out the motherboard. Well, not quite yet, but let me see why it's not going off. Probably we'll have to take this part out, and after this it should go away. Let me try to recall how did I take it out. You have to remove this wheel, as far as I remember. This presses against the button for the middle click. The middle click doesn't break so easily as another one. Let me just understand how it goes off the camera, and then I will get back to you. Well, after you have removed those parts, you have to remove this door lock. In order to do this, you just need to press against the lock and try to slide out those limiters to one side, so you can go past them and then you can remove the lock. Because if you don't remove this lock, you cannot remove the motherboard. Now the lock is removed. It's not too hard to do it, and as you see, it's being held with this plastic part, and yeah, it's not easy to remove this. We probably have to remove the wheel. After you have removed the wheel, you can try to take the motherboard out like this with two hands on the side. You will not be able to take the motherboard here, and then you just slide the motherboard out, and make sure you don't lose this button, because this button is used to pair the mouse, and it can be lost easily. So we just put this on a safe spot, take the motherboard and resolder, in our case, the right button. You can turn it backwards, and there you can see it. You have to heat it up, solder this part out, take a new one, and then just put the mouse back. I will add another video, or I will just continue this video to show you how the mouse is being repaired. Now we will just resolder this part off the camera, and then the mouse will be ready to go. Well, after you have successfully failed to resolder the switches, you just take this to someone who can do it and let him resolder the right one and the left one. In this mouse, the right one went bad, but normally the left one is the one which breaks because it is used much more often. It just have to be removed and the new one have to be put back in. Once you have done this, you can do this assembly in the reverse order, which I will show you a little bit later. And just put all the parts of the mouse in a safe place so you don't lose them. We have a mouse housing without the spring. Springs are here, as well as the case screws and the screws for the motherboard, and those black things which cover the screws. This part is also here. Then you have this rubber button for pairing, and then you have the button to turn it off and on. It falls out very quickly, so don't lose this. And yeah, just put it all inside, and once you have done the repair of the motherboard, you can just replace everything and put it back together, which I will show you in a minute. Now we have the motherboard repaired. We have replaced both those switches. This is a cheap part which costs 20 cents, and this caused this mouse to fail. I had a mouse with a problem with the left click. Here right click didn't even work. Now we'll just put it back, and first of all, make sure you put the switch in the off position on the motherboard. It's even marked. You put it in the off position. Now it's in the off position, and here we have the pairing button and the on-off button. The on-off button should be on the off position too, so that this contact will match into this plastic part. And now you just have to insert the motherboard back. You start here. Actually, you don't even have to undo this lock, because it's not interfering with the removal of the motherboard. So we'll start off here, because the motherboard will not pass on this plastic part. So we'll just put it in, install it. Here's the battery. Contacts should go in. You install it like this, and this Reassembly holds the motherboard from getting uninstalled. You have here this hole, you put it back in, and that's how it's installed. After this, you have to put back this plate we removed earlier. I think it's like this, and now it's almost ready to go. Now just take this part, we place our springs here, and now we just carefully just close the mouse back. Now it's closed, and yeah, of course, before closing you need to put the motherboard screw in. I forgot it, so I will remove this again. If it lets me remove, of course, you have to undo the lock. Here we have our motherboard screw. I take the screwdriver, a magnetic one, and just screw down the motherboard carefully. Try to do it carefully. Sits perfectly. Now we'll do this again. Close the assembly and just snap it on, and now it's closed. Clicking is working, hopefully. Now just put the screws back in. We take this screwdriver with this special bit Lenovo used. I hope the one who did this will burn in hell. I mean, why would you put such a special screws to a simple mouse? They just don't want you to repair it. And now you just screw it back down. Then we'll place another two screws. And the last one. After this, the mouse is repaired, hopefully, and you can use it. To test it, I will open the battery, put the battery according to the instruction, and if we're lucky, it will probably work. I will turn it on, it lights up, and off the camera I will test whether the mouse is working. You will not see this, but yeah, let's just test. I did it off the camera, but it's working perfectly. I just pressed this pairing button, then light started to flash frequently, and I could connect it with my PC. Now you can put those guys on. They probably will not hold anymore because the glue is not very strong. I have managed to lose one of them, the small ones. Probably have to check out the table for it. They are not really necessary, but the mouse slides better with those things. If they would like to make a mouse which is more repairable, they would use normal screws, and they would use screws which are visible and where you don't have to remove this part. But this repair is rather easy. The only difficult part for me it was to solder the contacts, because I cannot do it very well. That's why I asked someone to do the job for me. But after this we have replaced both of the switches and it's working perfectly. And I have bought two of the switches for 10 euros, so one switch is only 20 cents. I recommend you to change both of them every time you undo the motherboard, because it's rather cheap part, and I think it's better to use new ones. That's it for the repair. I hope you can repair your mouse if you have one. The advantage of this mouse, of the Bluetooth mouse, over the mouse with the dongle, that you have your free port, and this mouse uses AA batteries, which are a little bit bigger than a small one, but batteries, and of course it gives you more battery life. I like this mouse a lot. It's a laser mouse, really nice mouse. The only weak part is the quality of those switches. Well, as you see, this part is missing, but I will find it somewhere. Maybe I will glue this, but I think it slides well even without those parts. I wish you a nice evening, and please do not throw away your devices, just try to repair them, because we don't have so many resources to just waste material like this. Have a nice evening, and bye bye.